A što se tiče naoružanja, nismo naoružavali HDZ-ovci.
Vi niste u toku onda, ljudi moji, pa mi smo s njima u ratu. I po ratu s njima, s kim? S vojskom.
The Serb chairman quietly reveled in the discomfort of his Croat colleague.
Nisu prosto mogli svojim očima da veruju kako je to moglo sve da se snimi u kancelarijama u kojima su se oni u kojima su govorili o stravičnim zločinima koje žele da vrše.
Ja sam polazio od toga da je to sve montaža, da eventualno možda ima nešto i istinitih snimaka, ali da je to sve s jednom tehnikom moguće učiniti.
Odjednom su rekli da je to čisto montaža sa kojom se želi srušiti hrvatska vlast, a u stvari su uhvaćeni na delu.
When President Tudjman finally joined the meeting, instead of responding to the film, he issued a warning to the defense minister, General Kadjević.
Prema tome da bi na njemu osobno bila odgovornost za krvoproliće u Hrvatskoj, za obaranje hrvatske vlasti.
Njegovim se dolaskom atmosfera nije poboljšala uopšte. Cijele noći je drama bila, svakoga je optuživao.
Kadjević meni rekao kada treba da baci na koljena Tudjmana i to HDZ rukovodstvo, jer je to u toj mjeri očevidno da oni na jedan krvav način žele da izvrše razračun u Jugoslaviji, da to ne može proći, a da ne bude u javnosti u Hrvatskoj.
That night, the army's tactic appeared to work. Isolated in the Serb capital, the Croat leaders caved in. Tudjman was forced to give a promise. He would allow the Yugoslav army to arrest those implicated in smuggling arms. He got back to Zagreb in the early hours, exhausted. Uncertain how his people would react, he did not tell anxious reporters about his promise.
Da će sada naši ljudi u Hrvatskoj moći mirno spavati, da ćemo se moći posvetiti drugim poslovima, a ne se pribojavati da ćemo noću ili ujutro biti iznenađeni tenkovima, vojnim motorom i tako dalje.
When Tudjman woke up, he found his people's fear had given way to celebration. Safe on home ground, Tudjman withdrew the promise he had made in Belgrade. Instead of helping the army arrest the culprits, he passed a law giving his ministers immunity. The chief arms smuggler himself appeared on Croat television to answer the question, was the film a forgery?
Gledali smo jednu konstrukciju, jedan falsifikat.
On leaving the studio, the general immediately set out to discover who had given him away.
Martin me sreo i rekao mi je, kaže, samo su dvojica ljudi me mogla u sve ovo uvaliti. Ko su ta dvojica ljudi? Kaže, to je jedan kome vjerujem beskonačno. A velim, ko je drugi? Drugi sam ja. Kaže, tako je.
The general had been filmed while trying to persuade two Yugoslav army officers to steal arms for Croatia.
Grupa koja je bila okupljena je bila zaista od visokog povjerenja. Ja evo sad mogu da kažem da sam imao neograničeno povjerenje prema Jagaru.
But one of them, though a Croat and a family friend, put Yugoslavia first. He had hidden a video camera inside his television set.
Tako da nije dobro nekad ne imati ljude kojima beskonačno vjerujete oko sebe u takvim poslovima.
Croat TV mocked the impotence of the Serbs. Milosevic, Jovic and the Yugoslav defense minister with their motley crew of Serb nationalists. Croats had got away with it. President Milosevic now declared himself the guardian of Yugoslavia. He persuaded the generals that the only way to save the Federation was to mobilize the army to disarm the Croats. But the generals needed an order from the State Council representing all the republics. To persuade the State Council would require the skills of a Machiavelli. A demonstration in the center of Belgrade, his own capital, provided Milosevic with a chance to show how the army could be used. The demonstrators, demanding press freedom in Serbia, gathered in the spring sunshine.
Ljudi su bili krajnje mirni, bilo je dosta burnih izliva emocija, bilo je dosta skandiranja, uzvika, međutim ljudi su mirno stajali i slušali govornike.
Milosevic chose to see it otherwise.
Zvao me prvo Milošević i rekao mi je da je čitav haos i sam je govorio o tome da bi možda bilo potrebno da vojska pomogne.
Borisav Jovic, the most trusted ally of President Milosevic, was still chairman of the council which controlled the army. He began to work the phones.
Very soon after the beginning of the demonstration in Belgrade, Jovic called me.
To je oko podne. Negde između 11 i 12 možda.
He was telling me, Vasil, this is a matter of historic fault. We have to block this because a war will erupt. This is a completely illegal action. It is meant to destabilize Serbia and Yugoslavia, that the army has to act.
Vasil Tupakovsky was surprised because the demonstration he saw on television, though massive, was peaceful. He refused to vote for bringing in the army. Soon after this, the Serb police were sent in.
Negdje na polovini govora gospodina Paroškog, odjednom u sredinu te gomile doleteo je jedan suzavac i ljudi su prosto počeli spontano da beže. S obzirom da je policija bila skroz okolo demonstranata, logično je bilo da na tim krajevima dođe do sukoba demonstranata i policije.
The Serb leaders had first asked for tanks to be put on the streets 3 hours earlier. Now their case was stronger.
Finally, about 6 o'clock in the evening, when Jovic called me for the 7th or 8th time, I told them, okay, I will vote yes, because I saw that there are casualties. Others will come, for sure. Everything was getting out of control. It was obvious. We were watching the television.
Nazvao sam članove predsjedništva koji su mi dali saglasnost da će vojska u stvari prošetati kroz Beograd i odvratiti demonstrante od vandalizma.
Now the Yugoslav army chief of staff phoned the Serb police minister. This is a recording of what he said.
Tamo da bi sve svoje snage, kad se vojska pojavi, treba da krenu u akciju, da biju do iznemoglosti, bez upotrebe oružja, da prate vojsku i da biju tamo i da biju na drugim pravcima, da se jednostavno napravi jedna akcija juriša u kojoj treba da se bije do iznemoglosti.
Within the hour, Milosevic appeared on television to justify the intervention of the Yugoslav army.
Danas je u Srbiji, u Beogradu, napadnuta najveća vrednost koju ima naša zemlja i naš narod. Ugrožen je mir. Zato se snagama haosa i bezumlja Srbija mora suprotstaviti svim ustavnim sredstvima i zato tražim.
Milosevic had got the tanks out of the barracks once. Now he could take the next step towards deploying them in Croatia. It all began with a television announcement.
Watching television at about 11 o'clock, maybe even midnight, something like that. All of a sudden the program was interrupted and we saw Jovic.
U tim okolnostima
the Serb chairman of the State Council, the collective presidency of Yugoslavia, startled his fellow council members.
He tells the members of the presidency on television that we have a meeting of the presidency as a supreme command. The next day, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in Belgrade.
The Slovene representative was too frightened to come. The Croat, though fearing arrest, believed he had to attend, to talk his colleagues round.
Pri dolasku u zgradu predsjedništva dočekali su nas vojni autobusi sa predstavnicima vojske koji su rekli da će sjednica biti u vrhovnoj komandi.
Colonel came up to us and he showed very dramatically and orderly that we have to enter the bus.
To je jedna predigra, da je to pokušaj u stvari stvaranja impresije jakosti vojske, ozbiljnosti situacije.
Message was very afraid. You could notice that immediately, all set up like that in the back.
Only the Serb chairman and the Minister of Defense knew what was going on as the other members filed in.
We entered the meeting room. It was very cold. I would say not more than 14. The presidency was there trembling before the military. The camera was on.